My name is KJ. This is Blessed in Building, and welcome to Building Skills. Today, what I'm going to be talking to you about is where I'm at in my career, what I did when I was in school, when I was in college, and what my current plans are going forward in the future. And maybe you can have the chance to think about where you want to go to, the kind of ideas that you may want to adopt, or I can hear from you and hear about some of your feedback as well. Let's do this. So right now, I am a 23-year-old guy. I'm not gonna talk about where I was born and all that great stuff, but I went to school at college at the University of Arizona. There I studied mechanical engineering and I got a minor in mathematics. However, I will tell you that I did not find a lot of happiness and joy waking up and going to school every single morning. I knew that mechanical engineering was not exactly what I wanted to do. I like SolidWorks. I like being able to design, but what I liked the most was being able to talk to different people. One, being able to talk to different people. Two, be able to work together with my classmates to go and solve an issue. And three, just seeing the results of what we worked hard on. And I don't want you to take that as oh, I'm only interested in seeing the results. I'm only interested in seeing what happens after all the hard work is done. No, that's not what I'm really interested in. I'm interested in looking at the process of how we're building up a product and seeing how it goes out the door. That's a little bit about what I did when I was in school, but that's going to lead directly into my career strategy. So right now I'm working at some would call it a defense contractor, but it's not technically. I work at a company that has multiple different types of business units in a sense. Some avionics, general aerospace, and some defense as well. I'm able to be a part of a company that's able to do what I like to call full system life cycle. What that means is it's able to take an idea from the idea phase all the way to be able to go and deploy that product out for whatever customer it is. Whether that's commercial or defense, that is what our company is able to do, and that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in looking exactly at, okay, well, we have this idea. We have this thing that we want to do. Some genius engineer has an idea or a new capability that they want to start working on. And I want to be able to see, okay, well, one, how we come up with the idea. How are we going to make sure that we're meeting what our customer actually wants us to do? Again, requirements. How are we going to, I guess, be able to actually go show them that, hey, we see your requirements, we see what you want from us. Here's how we're going to meet it, and here's us proving that we're going to meet it. Integration and test, and then how do we actually deliver on that? So how do we take from an idea to capturing what our customer wants, to proving that we have it, and then eventually giving it to them? That's what to call full system life cycle. And what type of engineering is more likely to be able to look at that? There's two that come to my mind immediately. It's either going to be project engineering or system engineering, and I'm in system engineering. So my time from school has really been based on system engineering and what I want to do. I did my first internship at this company in a section of this company. I had my first internship, and there I was able to kind of get my first taste in what system engineering actually is. I had no idea what it was. All I knew is that I didn't want to do mechanical. I didn't want to sit down and go design all day. I did not want to do math all day. I can do it. I got the minor in it. I can understand what the math means. I don't care to do it. It's not. I don't find any joy in that. I don't find any satisfaction in getting a number. That's not for me. And so when I was applying for internships for my so I had an internship from freshman, no, from freshman year going into sophomore year, sophomore going to junior, and then I had a research opportunity from junior over to senior. So during that second internship that I had, I was at this company, and that's when I first got exposed to actually working in system engineering. But where did all this come from? The first internship, where I was able to shadow a system engineer. I won't tell you her name since I don't have any permission from her, but she was a really great system engineer. And at that point, I was essentially working as an HR guy. And I knew that I didn't want to do HR, but I wanted to look in different kinds of engineering, even though I wasn't able to directly work on it. And so one of my mentors at that company, she was able to connect me with a system engineer at the same company, and I just shadowed her for a day. I was able to see how she identified there was an issue with one of our products. She sat down to go and diagnose that issue, and she wrote up a test report saying, "Hey, here's the issue that I found. Here's me going through and trying to diagnose it. Here's some of the risks if we don't address it, and here's a plan on how we address it." That was really interesting to me. And then she was also explaining to me, like, "Hey, this isn't all the system engineering. It's actually extremely broad." And at that point, I realized, well, that's why I went into mechanical engineering in the first place. I'm kind of going everywhere. Of course, I'm getting ideas as I am talking right now. Like already, I already have an idea for having a video about the importance of shadowing, the importance of having, not trying to be specialized, the importance of just being open to learn. There are a lot of things I can go into, but right now we're going to stay focused on the system engineering part of everything. So after that first experience, I was able to, I wanted to go push for another internship for next year, but I didn't want to stay at that same company. And so let's just call that first company Company A. I want to go for something that's a little more broad, so I started applying outwards. And that's when I had an interview for a systems verification and test role for Company B. We're at Company B right now, so let's just take that for that's the second company. And so when I was applying for that role, I was saying, "Hey, I know I'm a mechanical engineer, but all I know is that I'm not too interested in the." I just told the recruiter right there, I'm not interested in the technicalities of it. All I know is that I want to see, okay, well, what is system engineering? What does that actually mean? And I know I can learn because I'm doing it in mechanical, and I can learn even when I don't like something because I'm doing it in mechanical. And the recruiter seemed to like that because they called me 2 days later and said, "Hey, we're going to offer you this job," and they were probably inflating it. But hey, there were 10,000 applicants. We only had 20 applications, and we're taking yours through. I took the job. Okay, they got me hook, line, and sinker. But I do not regret it because I still work there. So I was in that role, and I was just learning what it meant to be in verification and test. I was working in a lab. I had a full product in my hands. I was giving ownership over a document to say, "Hey, we have this new update that we're pushing through on this product. We want you to go through and verify that when you press certain button sequences, it actually works. And if you see a discrepancy, note it, put it down on your piece of paper, meet with a review board, and get that change either noted or fixed, or we accept the risk and we keep on pushing it out because it's not that critical." I enjoyed that. And that's when I knew, okay, I kind of like system engineering. So then from there, I'm like, okay, well, let me go expand in here. So I went to go do another internship in system engineering. This is the third internship, still at the same company, but now in a different location. That internship was in system architecture. And that's where I really knew, like, okay, this is kind of cool. At that role, in the third internship, at that role in the third internship, I was able to get exposed into what happens before we even have a product at our company. Where is it? We have this idea. Where is it going to fit in the overall architecture of how we perform a task? I'm being super high level, and I wish I could get into more detail about it. But until I know a little bit more about this whole uploading process, I'm not going to do that. So I was looking and I was able to see, hey, you have this idea, or we have this idea and this new capability that we want to add. How is it actually going to fit in to the overall architecture? By architecture, I mean the overall framework. That's probably a different way of saying it. How does this idea fit into the overall architecture of this massive system that is over multiple countries? That was the coolest thing ever. And I was able to be a part of that as an intern. And I was able to make modifications to that as an intern. I had a contribution to something, and I didn't just chase after a number. What I was actually working on had direct impacts on people that I will never meet, on programs that I will never be on and never manage, but I still made an impact on it because I knew the high level, what does that system do? What does it impact? And how does it effectively bring value to the system? What kind of upgrades can we add to that to increase its value? That was sick, and I love that. So I love system architecture. So that's already two now already. Verification test, loved it. System architecture, loved it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to secure a third internship at that company. Not because it was not because of my skill. It was truly because of a staffing issue. I wanted to go back to the same role that I was at when I was at internship two, so the one right before this one. But they had staffing issues and they had too many people on the team, and they weren't able to keep me on as a co-op. Another video idea. Talk about co-ops. Heck yeah.